that.
I just think he's that type of person. He's a truthful person, unlike a lot of the people that have been there in the past, and particularly like Loretta Lynn and
Loretta Lynn.
yeah.
Lynch.
Loretta Lynch, okay. Loretta Lynn. I'm just a coal miner's daughter.
You're getting to him, that's why.
Yeah, you're a country music fan, Phil.
Yes, I am.
All right. Who's your favorite artist, Phil?
Probably
Kenny Chesney. I don't know anything by him. Does he have anything memorable that you can actually
not offhand.
See? See these artists today, he's not an artist. He sings these songs. You'll never hum. You'll never sing again. I mean, look at Garth Brooks. I got friends in low places where, I was just a coal miner's daughter. Yuck, yuck, yuck. Today, they're not writing the melody. Did they not understand that? They're not going to have any durability. It's flash in the pan. Kenny Chesney, don't know one song. Do you know one song? You ever hear of him? You've heard of him, right?
I've heard him, but
It's all hype.
Yeah.
It's all hype. They put millions of dollars into publicity. He's a nice guy. He can play the guitar a little bit. But, so why do you like Kenny Chesney? Because he sings about the tropics?
No, not particularly. I just like his sound. It sounds real good.
Well, I think Mr. Sessions could sing. He has that Alabama twang, so I think he
Mr.
could.
Sessions. I think Phil could sing. Okay, Phil, this morning we want you to sing us a country song.
Well, Comey has sung.
What?
Really? Comey has sung?
I thought a lot of his testimony
Yeah.
was singing.
Really? My name is Comey. I'm a liar, yes it's true. I leak stuff to the press. That's what I like to do. I should go to jail for what I've undone. I don't know what happened, but I'm the devil's son. My name is Comey, and I'm so lonely, and I don't know what I'm gonna do. My name is Comey, I am so lonely. I used to love the red, white, and blue.
Yeah, I was
He should
Yes,
go
sir.
to jail.
I was surprised because I never thought Comey was such a player, and
Yeah.
I think he knows how to deal with Washington.
Well, I have a definition of the word irony. Okay, irony is going to jail for leaking non-classified information and allowing someone to not be prosecuted for emailing classified information.
Hey, that's a good one. Counterposing the
That's
two,
right.
yes.
How you doing over there?
I'm doing well.
Okay, we need the middle mic, the orange mic up just a hair, please, not another mic. Mike, would you count to 10, please?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, that sounds good. All right.
Oh, wait, I want to go to 10.
You count to 5.
Oh, 1, 2,
Good.
3.
5, 4, 3, 2,
Okay.
1.
You can always turn Stanford down. No, I'm only kidding.
And I'm the numbers guy, and I only get to go to 5.
Rhett, let me ask you a question. After you heard the testimony for both Comey and Sessions, do you have any understanding of what an investigation of Trump and the Russians is all about?
They have nothing. It's all fake news.
You know
It's
what?
all fake leaks.
What we should be looking at, I mean, there should be an investigation, a counterintelligence investigation of Russian interference in U.S. politics. That's a good subject for the FBI.
Yeah,
Congress has no knowledge other than what they're going to get from the Bureau and from intelligence on this subject. There's nothing they're going to get out of testimony.
Hey, I was there having a grilled cheese sandwich with tomato, well done, with a side of fries. You believe me? You have to believe me, because you ain't getting anything more from me, Congress. Do you understand? You worked with the CIA. You were the deputy director of the CIA. Would this ever take place?
It's bizarre.
Who was your leader? Was it George Bush Sr.?
The president was George Bush Sr.
No,
yes.
no, but who was your head of FBI? He was the head of the FBI for a while. CIA, wasn't he?
He was. I was there when he was the head of the CIA.
So you knew George Sr. very
and
close.
Casey, and all of the directors. I left before George Tenet came in, and some of the more recent ones.
I mean, this is just like, at least Reagan used to go out with Tip O'Neill, and they'd have a beer. These guys are so paralyzed and stupid and polarized. It's just stupid. Stupid has come to Washington. Oh, it sounds like another song, doesn't it?
Stupid has come to Washington. Is this like Mr. Smith comes to Washington?
What?
It's like Mr. Smith comes to Washington. Remember?
Stupid came to Washington, and they've spoiled all our fun. They got too serious, they're singing the blues. Everybody's taking sides, there ain't much else they can do. I don't know.
Rhett, I can explain to you why Stanford is the way he is.
Why? Why is Stanford
Okay.
the way it is?
Well, when you first got into this, where did all media people want to work?
In Washington, D.C.
Or New York.
Or New York, and I
right?
worked in both.
Okay,
yes.
and that was the media center of the world, and that's what you would call
Yeah.
a Kennedy liberal type thing.
Yeah.
Today,
Yeah.
the media center of the world is not New York, it is San Francisco. It is the Facebooks, it's
Oh,
the
is that why we're getting
Twitters.
calls on? Remember 2 weeks ago we got a call from San Francisco. Somebody listened to
Yeah.
this broadcast.
And so what has happened is
That's an insight.
we used to have a 3-lane road with right, left, and people in the middle. But since San Francisco's taken over, they've added 3 more lanes. It's just all on the
Now, wait a
left.
second. Where does San Francisco come into this?
Google is there. All the internet's
Google,
there.
Facebook,
Social.
Twitter,
The lefties.
Social media.
yeah,
Social
and
media.
social media
The
runs everything,
lefties are in charge of social media.
which is media today.
And you know what's bad about the left is they tend to be emotional. And you shouldn't let emotions drive the car. You shouldn't stuff them in the trunk, but you shouldn't let them drive the car. And the liberals really actually are so arrogant that they think they're right because we're all emotional and we have heart, so we're right. So even if we lie and even if we leak, we have the right because we're right.
Yes.
And they don't realize that they are destroying America.
Well,
They're really evil. They're being used by a demonic force with their emotionalism. They actually think they're so arrogant. They think they're totally and absolutely right. And look at the moron that was running for the presidency. She turns out to be a moron. She's a moron. There's no elegance or grace about her whatsoever, the way she looks. She's a bad loser. Remember in school? She should be spanked and sent home. And said, don't let her back in the school for a week. You got to teach your daughter something here.
well, you should assign that job to me. I'm great at spanking.
Inferior.
I think if Bill would have done that, maybe he wouldn't have.
Uh-oh. Stanford wants to spank Hillary's butt.
Oh, here we go.
There we go.
Stanford's thinking right now, no, she was good enough for Bill. Now, she's history, right?
Well, she's going slowly into history.
I don't think it's slow because even my Democratic friends want her off the stage.
Oh,
Get
really?
her out.
Why?
Get her out because she's old. Well, she's old news. She's a loser. She's and
You don't
and
think she can come back again?
And they don't want to lose her. People don't want to hang around losers.
Oprah has made it final last night that she will not run for the presidency.
But she'll still
You think so?
campaign or whatever.
Oh, you think so?
Oh, she won't. She won't run. Why does she want that headache?
You almost have to be insane to become the president of the United States, you know? Hence our president.
Yeah,
Now,
exactly.
listen, how many in this room voted for Trump?
I did.
Okay, all of us. Okay. Phil, Phil too, so that's 4 of us. How many of think Trump's a little bit off center?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but the reason I
Now,
voted,
he didn't. Now, former deputy director of the CIA, you didn't raise your hand.
No, I don't think that's the way I would describe him as off-center. He is totally unusual and different.
Totally unusual.
He's not a Washington type. He's not a politician, but I don't think he's off-center. No, I think he's got good instincts.
Yeah.
and good. Actually, his political instincts in some ways are pretty good, but his instincts about what's the appropriate thing to do, I think, are very good.
I am so happy every day that he got elected, even when he's a goofball and he texts too much, or he he tweets too much. It's at least God has thrown something into the pot, and it is stirring it up. Something, the politics will never be the same.
Well,
right?
Right. And, well, the thing is, I would consider myself an independent. I rarely vote for the Republican or Democrat president. I always vote, but I never vote normally for them.
Really?
But I vote.
So you vote like libertarian? Or?
Libertarian. I voted for Ross Perot, obviously, twice. But
that all that did was keep George Bush from being in president.
That's okay. I wouldn't have voted for George Bush anyway. But that's another story. But the thing is, why I voted for Trump, there were two reasons. Well, first of all, is I knew that if Trump got into office that the media would be all over him, where I've just basically got so frustrated under an Obama presidency where anything he did is just completely covered up. And then the second reason, I guess it's not a second reason, I guess it's 33,000 reasons, is, Hillary deleting 33,000 emails. I just don't understand how that is not a crime.
And no one holds her up. What about this Shakespearean play in New York City? If they were holding up the severed head of President Obama and his wife Michelle.
No. That wasn't the severed head. That was killing of like Caesar.
Yes,
at the Forum.
Right, of
Trump. But it was Trump. It was Trump with a Trump hairdo.
And we're giving these people $30 million a year? They've just blown that, haven't they?
I hope so. Although they're still getting sponsors.
Yeah, but a couple of people, big ones, have bowed out.
Delta
bowed
Bank
out.
of America.
So we're going to fly Delta from now on. Who else?
Bank of America. I did love.
Bank of America. That's
I did
my
love
bank.
what James Woods said. He says he came out with a tweet.
James Woods, the actor.
Yes, because he's very conservative, and he came out and he says, "I am now moving my accounts over to Bank of America."
Good for him. Okay, and a lot of people will. They'll follow suit. That's what we're all about here.
Right.
Like when I say that I got my new Mercedes-Benz from Mercedes-Benz of Fort Pierce. I got a great deal. You'll get a great deal too. Make sure you go to Mercedes-Benz of Fort Pierce.
Wow, that was elegant.
He can go into that. Segue into ad anytime.
You know what? You have a future in this business.
Here's some questions for the two.
Not much of one, but
I put questions for two here.
How do I get over being... Now, what I need to do is put you three together on a panel. Become part of my... And there's nothing in it for you guys. Nothing in it whatsoever.
It never is.
No.
So it's like being married.
You guys become part of my mastermind. Remember the Think and Grow Rich? Mm-hmm. So what you do is then you all have to agree, and we all have to share blood, and then you guys are going to help me have a national show.
Sounds good.
We could do that.
Could you help me?
We want you to be
What
famous.
What could we do as a mission? Seriously, I believe
You
that
need
I'm
to
a
be
good guy that should have a national voice.
You should be the new McLaughlin. I think that's so missing. That show was so fantastic. Yes.
I think, and I'm no Hannity. I don't want to interrupt people. I love listening to the other side. I want to hear the opposing side. You take the proverbial swing. Don't you think I could handle that? I love Tucker, but Tucker is definitely to the right.
He interrupts a lot.
Does he?
Yeah, it's not.
People want to listen.
Well, you like his eyes. His eyes drive me crazy.
Well, because what he does is when they have the 2-camera thing and he goes, he's intently listening, and I admire that. He really is.
But he's working. He's doing that for the camera.
He's the best guest I've ever seen.
You're suspecting a certain. You can't judge a man's heart. I think Tucker's a good person. He's
Well,
actually,
But call him a liar. That's because that's what Comey did. It was Comey's opinion that the FBI people are. So therefore, Trump's right.
Shouldn't Comey be up on charge? I mean, this is supposed to be the FBI guy. Isn't this reprehensible? Can you imagine the head?
Let's keep it on the thing. That's a good question.
I mean, on the air.
Yeah, on the air. Yeah, that's a good question because he's.
Well, I'm going to go get some coffee.
Yeah.
Stop talking to each other.
Did you ever leak anything?
Seriously, can you guys help me?
Have leaked?
Do you think maybe like in July?
Unauthorized?
Do you think maybe we could all go and have lunch or dinner together?
Yeah.
Seriously.
Sure.
No, we can create
It's
something.
just the intellect. Even if you guys don't do anything, sitting down and say, blah, 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 blah. There's power. Even the Bible says there's safety in a multitude of counselors. If this is my hour. I'm 63. This is when what's his name started in TV, Larry King. It's either going to happen now or it ain't, because all of a sudden then I'll be over the tipping point. And they're going,
No, I think it can be done, and I think we can all make money on it. I really do. I think it.
Well, you know,
who said anything about sharing the money?
we're just trying to keep him off the streets.
Yeah, just put out the-
But Stanford, you would consider yourself a Kennedy liberal, right?
I was, a Kennedy liberal. That's
Okay. If Kennedy gave his inauguration speech today,
Yeah.
he would be called alt-right.
Yeah, I
Go
probably
back
so.
and listen.
No,
Back and listen to that
No, I
speech.
listened to it. Asked what you cannot do. Yeah, it's very patriotic, and the far left were not that interested in Kennedy. They were not. So,
Was there a far left back then?
well,
Weren't those
there
considered
was a Bobby
communists?
Kennedy group. See, Bobby Kennedy was much farther to the left than John F. Kennedy.
Yeah.
So the Bobby Kennedy group was not so interested in.
You'll love this. My mother-in-law, who's whatever the Democrats say, she has no idea on an issue. It's just, all emotion. She goes to me, aren't you upset at all this nepotism with Trump and his family and everything like this? You've never seen that before in politics. I go,
Attorney General of
I said, John F. Kennedy, Bobby Kennedy. Oh, no. He was the Attorney General after John F. Kennedy. I go, no.
And he was useful to the.
I don't know if you remember, but Holder, when he was given testimony and they were asking him questions, he said, "I'm Obama's wingman."
Yeah, there's no question.
Wingman.
He admitted it several times that he was the.
Yeah.
I mean,
Although attorney generals are often political supporters of the president. I mean,
Sure.
that's
Well,
that's
they're
part of the
appointed.
job.
but still, it's supposed to be a separate branch of
Well,
government.
they've always been confused because you're head of justice, but you're also a real political advisor.
See, that's the reason why I do love that Bernie is breaking off and creating his own party now. You heard that this week?
Well, that's good.
I love it.
Because I want 4 parties.
I do too.
And
It'll destroy the Democratic
Yes,
Party.
that's what I mean.
Well, I want 4 parties so that way at least the somehow we get some balance and check and balance again. There's none.
Keith.
I don't think that'll bring it, but I think it'll destroy the Democratic Party.
Yes, it will.
Don't worry about
Keith, your insight into social media.
Try just one of these.
No, I don't need that stuff.
Try just one. Just one.
He's
Little
the
tiny
boss.
cookie.
I'll try 2.
Eat the Kool-Aid.
I'll eat one.
Eat the Kool-Aid.
Is there something in these?
Yeah. Are these medical?
Your insight is very good in terms of the social media.
Aren't they good? They're from
I'm
Trader
from San
Joe's.
Francisco originally, so I know those.
Well, I mean, think
Well,
about
don't set
yourself
them in
in the
front of me.
'60s. Would you wanted to see San Francisco
You and I are
people
cookie
running this
brothers.
The
country?
diabetic.
I am the 60s.
You are?
Aaron.
But I mean, you don't see any young people wanting to go to New
For
York.
50 years.
They all
45
are
years.
going. They're all going out west.
If you eat too many, you'll flail around on the floor.
What an
It'll be interesting. You'll come back and we'll be okay.
Great insight, Keith.
Is that my next dog meeting talk?
You know,
That's a
for a
great
man
insight.
with empathy, you don't have much.
See, but that's
North Side.
It is kind of a strange empathy you have, I think. It's kind of a switch type empathy.
Like me and Trump.
Maybe, I don't know.
Don't forget.
Get that away from me.
Don't forget Trump's vice president was a talk host. You knew that, right?
Pence.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I heard that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, one
Good.
thing that I always say in finance is whenever something goes all the way in one direction, because we know where the market should be or something like this, the pendulum always swings back far the other way.
does.
Well, what happened is the far left went so far that now you're getting a Trump type person that goes way to the other side.
Yeah.
You're going to
Well,
always
absolutely. I mean, I voted for Trump not because I liked Trump,
yeah, same with
but
me.
because I thought the country was going to hell.
Yeah.
And it was on a decline that needed to be stopped, and no kind of ordinary person could do it.
Well, I voted for Trump. 'cause
None of the other
media.
candidates could do what he's doing now, or would do what he's doing.
No one
now.
else could. Now, in hindsight, I don't believe anybody else could have beat Hillary.
No,
Probably not.
With that machine behind her.
and the money, everything.
So
Well,
you are
I mean, we're in a soundbite world anyway. I don't know,
He is
thank
an
you.
evil, he is an evil person.
Well,
And you want us to help you?
when he eats,
I'm
you
actually-
see his face becomes almost cherubic. You know, and Charlie's face because
You
the
want to try
food.
something bad? Bluebell, vanilla and chocolate.
Oh, the best.
I can't, if I'm sitting there, I can't go, God, I can't stop. I'm sorry, Lord. I can't. I know it's a sin. I know gluttony is a sin. I can't
I love
stop.
Bluebell.
It's like, it must be like heroin or something. It's just like,
Well, my wife is hooked on all these creamsicles. I mean, it's like a drug. I mean, it's like catnip. I need her to do something. Just wiggle.
Do you
it.
have kids?
I know.
Do you? Yeah.
I have lots. I have 4 children and 9 grandchildren.
So, what I want to know is, and you have
I
children.
had 2 sons. 3 sons. 1 died.
My, see, I'm a faker, like fake news. I fake that I'm an adult. I don't feel inside like an adult. I still feel, you know what I mean? Do you guys secretly feel that way?
No.
Yeah, at that time, yeah. I've never totally grown up.
Yeah. There's still, not only is there still a 9-year-old here, there's still a 29-year-old here. There's still a 34-year-old here. You know, all those.
No, when I was
How about
young,
you?
Depends upon the company. I'm a chameleon.
Because this, now you look at the vice president, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's younger than me.
Right. 3 or 4 years. 4 years.
It's kind of
5 years.
disheartening and embarrassing that he's more mature than I am.
No.
I love the way
He's
he
more
handles
more mature than Trump is, and Trump's a little.
You're in your open, Rhett.
But you want to know what? In the old days, the president act presidential, and the vice presidents were the flamethrowers. We've just reversed it. Now the vice president acts presidential, and the president is a flamethrower.
Someone was sending out a YouTube connection a couple days ago. It was a very intelligent, gifted looking black woman. And she was going through the paces of saying how the Democrats wanted to keep the slaves as slaves. It was a Democrat that killed Abraham Lincoln and therefore gave the Democratic vice president. And that's when the president was Republican, then the vice president had to be the opposite side to give his, to balance it out. So he was a Democrat. And do you know, though the Civil War, supposedly we won, when Lincoln was killed and that vice president came into power, he really subjugated the fact that for black people, Negroes, to become full citizens. People don't realize that. I mean, and she's saying, wake up. I mean, this lady was, she didn't even say it like that. I mean, she was just genteel, intelligent, like a professor, but with a heart and warmth. Did anybody see that video?
no,
But I know several black women who are conservatives, and they all are preaching the same type of thing that you are. The Crystal Wright, there's a Okafor woman and stuff like that. They're very, very intelligent, and they're all ridiculed by the left, and especially the black community. They're ridiculed.
I call it plantation politics. Often the Democrats have gone into plantation politics. They've created a economic system where the African Americans are beholden to them, and so therefore they vote for them. That's called.
Do you honestly
plantation
think they're that
politics.
evil of heart that they've consciously done this? See, I essentially believe in the goodness of man, but I don't know. And I know that a lot of the people on the street that are Democrats or liberals, they really have heart. They really think they're doing right. But they're useful. What is it? What did Stalin say? Useful idiots. They'll use you up and spit you out. Do you think all these people? Remember? Did you see Christopher Ruddy on national TV last night? Well, he was on my show when he was poor and struggling. He had one book, The Strange Death of Vincent Foster. He went down, and my friend Father Duffy, Catholic priest, retired now, is good friends with Ruddy. So is Trump. Well, but Trump doesn't know, man. And if I meet Trump, I'm going to tell him, you know, Christopher gave $2 million to. He runs news. What is it?
Newsweek.
No, not
No.
Newsweek.
Info.
No. Newsmax. He saw what I was doing. He went down there. He borrowed $10,000. That's what he bought, just $10,000, okay? And the concept is real. He uses all these headlines to manipulate you. You notice there's an ad attached to everything they do. They sell memorabilia like, you know, John Wayne hat and John Wayne CD and when he's talking about America and how great America is. Although that doesn't sound like John Wayne, I know, but it's the best I could come up with this morning.
But you told us who it was, so we...
All right, Pilgrim. Now, Pilgrim. Okay, so anyway, where was I going with this? Oh, this is the trouble with this electronic media days. My phone is ringing, you know? Who's bothering me from Maryland? Maryland? Hey, that could be the president. Hello, this is Rhett.
Hey, Rhett.
Who's this?
This is Steve. How you doing?
Are you listening to the broadcast?
Yes, I am, sir.
Okay, where are you in Maryland or are you down here? Where are you?
Actually in Vero Beach.
No, okay. I was kind of hoping that maybe the president was calling you, but we'll take you, Steve.
Hey, I just want to say that I listen to you every morning. I do a 3-mile walk every day. So.
You're a man of impeccably good taste. Thank you, sir.
Last Friday was listening to you, and your commercial came on for Oliver's Plumbing.
Yes, sir.
And it happened to be that afternoon I needed a plumber, and I remembered John. Gave him a call. Without a doubt, one of the best people I've ever met or talked to. Sent the guy out to the house, worked on the problem, got it kind of fixed. Came back Monday and completed the job. What a great guy. And I just wanted to give kudos to him and you for in your advertisement say that you back him up. And let me tell you, you got a good guy to back up.
Well, that's very good to hear. Now, by the way, if anybody thinks this was a setup, I swear before a living God, this was not a side. Do I know you? Have we ever met?
No, sir.
Okay, so here's a guy I never met who listens to the show every day while he's jogging and calls Oliver's Plumbing.
A testimonial.
It tickles me because you know what? I'm beholden to these people. I've got a short life here, and it's great when people get great results from my people. And I've actually, in the past, I won't say who, but way back, I had to fire a plumber. And and
I'm sure.
you know,
If you put your name behind somebody, and like you said, you use him, and that guy, believe me, my problem was a tough one, and he sent his man Jeff over, and Jeff, man, he worked, and like I said, that's
Are you taping that? You gotta tape that. That's great.
Like I said, such a great company, and I would never ever use a different plumber.
well, thank you very much. And listen, when you maybe in July, you and I can get together and do a recording of you saying that. Would that be cool?
Sure.
Okay, thanks.
Sure.
Okay, now one final thing here about the interrogation yesterday of Sessions, Jeff Sessions. I thought he handled it extremely well. I was proud of him. I think he's a real man's man, a strong man. He may be a little guy, but boy, his words were right on. You can tell he has content of character, and those senators that were picking on him, they just kind of like melted in front of him. Like he just shot them down. Their inferior hearts. You know what I'm saying? Well, anyway, that's my opinion. I shouldn't have persuaded you like that. What do you? What do you?
With Jeff Sessions, I think we handled it so fabulous. It's just everybody's taking pot shots at him, and when you can stand your ground and make them look bad, it's even better.
You know, the thing is, now tell me, I'd like to get your opinion on this too, and everybody in the room. The far left are really, I think, spoiling it for themselves, and I'll tell you why. It's like the little boy who cried wolf. They've been going at this witch hunt against Trump. And when if this all turns out to be dead, and somebody said on TV last night, like Tucker says, well, probably if they don't keep this up for the whole 4 or 8 years, somebody said it. I don't know who said it. Maybe it wasn't Tucker. Who was it? Anyway, so do you think they can keep it up for 4 years, for 8 years, or do you think that sooner or later people are going to go, shut up?
See, I think people are fed up already of the witch hunt. And the more they do it, every week it's something different.
Yeah.
People are just getting so fed up. I mean, people that are, friends of mine, people I talk to. We see Rachel, and, I can't think of the guy's name, the Senate guy from New York. I mean, he was friends with Trump when Trump was,
Howard Stern?
King.
I can't think of Senator.
You talking about Howard Stern, or you talking about the guy who was?
No, the Senate president. What the heck?
Oh, he's the liberal guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's from New York.
They're both from New York, so they
they-
speak the same language. What's his name?
Right, Schumer?
No, Schumer.
Schumer, yeah.
Chuck Schumer.
Up to
Now,
Schumer.
Schumer and Trump, before all this, they were friends and all that, with business deals and things like that. But now he's out, everything Trump does is wrong, and he's an instigator now. So it's truly sad. It really is. But Trump knew what was going to happen. He's holding his ground, and hopefully America's going to be better.
Well, I'm a sucker, and I tend to believe that. Really, I look for the goodness in man. I look for goodness in all my liberal friends, my Democratic friends, my Republican friends, far right people. I look for the good in everybody, and I see some evil in the far right, and I certainly see some evil in the far left. Like I said, Christopher Ruddy was in here, and I got carried away with telling you all about Newsmax, but Christopher Ruddy was in my studio, and we interviewed him about the strange death of Vincent Foster. There have been all these deaths around the Clintons. Is this just coincidental, or do you really think that these people...
If you Google that, they'll say there's 23 to 26 deaths around. If you Google it.
Is it true?
I don't know if it's true, but it's on
I'm
the
surprised you
internet.
can get on Google, because Google's lefties.
It's on the internet.
Well, you have to look down the.
What do you think? Well, no, I want to know, honestly. I think that Clinton fedaddled with some women, but you know what? I think essentially I trust in the intellect of Bill Clinton. I think he's a smart man. He's a Rhodes Scholar. He's brighter than I am.
Well, but with the Clintons, let me tell you, they're 30 years and a week's worth of bathwater.
What did you say?
And they
Say that again. What did you say?
I said they're 30 years and a week's worth of bathwater.
Oh, they're dirty than a week's worth of bathwater.
The Clintons are, well, naturally, I'm so happy she did.
I like that. I got it right there.
They are, I'm telling you, if everybody knew what the Clintons have done, my God, it would hit the fan.
Why would anybody? It's fun. It's funny because I remember years ago, a friend of mine, his name was Dick Garrett. He owned all the Garrity lumbers throughout the United States, and he was only 37 years old. He was a young attorney. He was very wealthy. He was the Donald Trump of Albany, New York, and he became he got into alcohol, came out of that, became a born again Christian, and so he was very honest with me. Because being sober is a program of honesty. You can't get sober if you're not honest with yourself. And he said, Rhett, my sin is not money. He's sitting behind his big, expensive desk with this huge mural done of his family and all his kids and everything. I mean, I'm talking, it looked like it was done by Renoir or something, Anyway, so he says, my sin is power. And I, as a regular kid who shines shoes in upstate New York on the weekends, I never wanted power. I just want to have fun. I'm like that Cyndi Lauper. I just want to have fun. But anyway, so people, I can understand being seduced by greed because money gives you power to do a lot of things, that kind of power. But what people, do they not know in the end, everybody puts their toys back in the box and you leave here with nothing? Do they not care that they might be accountable to a living God? Is it because they're godless?
I don't think the Clintons worry about that anymore. they want to get as much power as they possibly can. And
To do what?
from there.
He already had the power. He was the president. And he got to hang out in the White House. I was just at the White House recently. I mean, forget it. I wouldn't even want it. Let me go. I'm done with that. All those people hanging around every day.
Well, Richard Kerr probably had more power than a lot of presidents, and he doesn't strike me as a person
No.
who needs or wants power.
Legacy.
He is the quintessential next door neighbor, right?
And he had more
Dick
power
Kerr.
than most people.
Now, of course, unless Dick is lying to us here.
Yeah.
Because, when you look at you look like a regular grandfather. He seems like a nice guy. I would trust whatever he had to say. Tell me something. Tell me you're not an evil guy.
Well, I'm not an evil guy. No.
You know. All right. Well, listen. I'm gonna take a commercial break, but I want to thank you for listening to the show and calling in. And you're welcome to call in anytime. Okay.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah, I will call you back, and when you see that Maryland phone number, you know who the hell it is.
Yeah, and listen, do me a favor. Call me back. Right now I'm involved with I've got a lot of appointments, but maybe about the 6th of July, give me a call. I'd like you to come down here and do a testimony on tape for Oliver's Plumbing, okay?
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right,
It's a super company. So.
thank you for, I'm sure John, I hope John will hear this. I know he listens to the show. I hope he gets to hear this too.
Yeah, well, I don't know who I am, believe me. And kudos again to him and his company.
Did you tell John that you heard about him on my show and that's why you called him?
I actually did.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Tell you what he said, pal.
Won't tell him what he said. All right, thank you.
When we meet in July, I'll tell you what he said.
All right, I'll see you later.
High praise to you.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah. I look forward to meeting you.
Okay, sir.
Thank you.
Talking with you.
Thank you. And that's nice to hear.
Yeah.
A good
You know,
call.
well, what happens? I tell you how we got Oliver's Plumbing. Years ago, I met John Oliver, and recently I was doing an ad for Joey Seafood on US One. Okay, and so I'm sitting. I go over there for lunch with Beverly, and in walks John Oliver. I didn't recognize it first, and he says, "Hey, I'm here because I hear them on your show." He sits down, orders some fish, and says, "Matter of fact, I think it's time for me to be on your show." We got together, and we formed we got to know each other because I've got to make sure, that I really trust these people because I got my name to watch out for. The doctors, I only put on who I believe are the creme de la creme. And John Oliver's now expanded. He's got like 4 trucks or 5 trucks, whatever it is. But anyway, that's kind of cool. It's kind of cool that a guy would call in to want to express that because they say, only 1 out of 1,000 will ever call a radio show.
But in terms of Richard Kerr
Yeah.
and power,
Yeah, Richard.
did you ever think you're seeking power or wanted power? I mean, I can't imagine that of you.
I don't know. No, I wanted. Sure, you want to have influence.
Yes.
You want to have people pay attention,
Yeah.
and so that's you want to be credible. All those things are a part of power.
I guess so.
You want influence. I mean,
But you trusted yourself as being intrinsically good.
Yeah,
I would like to have a national, well, now we do on iHeartRadio, but, be syndicated. I like to really be on TV like Larry King. I want that. Do I want the financial security? Yeah, but we get syndicated after the first year. You're set for life financial, so it's not about money. But I would like to have that influence because I think I intrinsically am a good human being. Yes, I make mistakes. Yes, I can be a jerk. Yes, I can be selfish, and I have. But you're not gonna sway me. It's like the time. Okay, cigarettes. I was handling the advertising for Joe Bove in upstate New York. He owned golf clubs, country clubs down here in Florida and in upstate New York, Evergreen in upstate New York. So I go in one day. We're down in the basement there at the clubhouse, and he says, "Hey, Rhett, I got all these golf carts." He said, "I tell you what, I figured this is what I want." We figured it out, and my take was going to be, wrong button. My take was going to be $26,000, I think, and that was if I sold the advertising on the side of the golf carts. That was my percentage. So I go upstairs. I swear before God, this is a true story. It was the vice president of Philip Morris. He walks right by. I said, "Excuse me, you're from Philip Morris?" He goes, "Yeah, I'm the speaker at the Rotary Club tonight." It was evening, and I said, "Excuse me, but we would like to put advertising, perhaps your cigarettes on the side of our golf carts." He says, "Oh, we're in. We're done. Here's my card. Let's talk to you. We'll do it." And you know what? After that, I turned him down. Now that $26,000 would long be gone, and I don't have the blood on my hands that I even persuaded one person to smoke an extra cigarette. And you know what? I'm glad about that. And I'm at my age now. If you think I'm going to take money to do something that I don't believe in, I will not endorse somebody on this area I don't believe in or trust, and that's my pledge, and it's my gift, it's my joy that I have people that trust me on the air. And so, why would I want a national show? Yeah, a national vehicle on TV because I think I can. But I don't seek power. Like I'm not drooling down my chin like greed, lust, and.
Well, everybody has ego. They want.
Yeah.
They want to be heard. They want to be paid attention to.
Everybody in here, you guys all want to be heard. That's why you're here today.
Yeah,
Well,
certainly.
I'm here just to help you.
Mr. Altruistic, right? But that's good. When you can fake sincerity, you really got something going on.
I can
You
be
look me
president.
square in the eye when you said that.
Yeah, that is a problem.
All right, folks, listen, we are going to take a break, and we'll be back. I have a former White House correspondent.
Stanford Erickson.
Yep, I also have former deputy director of the CIA.
Dick Kerr.
And I have Professor?
No,
What did you do? I forgot.
I don't know.
What did he do? Financial guy?
Finance, economics, etc. Yeah.
Oh, were you a comic?
No, economics, not.
Oh, economics.
Well, I
thought
guess
you said comics.
Yeah, they're
I heard
very
comics.
similar.
a lot of comics.
Economics. Okay. Hey, by the way, today's broadcast is brought to you by Mercedes-Benz of Fort Pierce. Test drive the brand new E-Class or the GLE. We have one of each. They're lovely people to deal with. They will take excellent care of you. When you walk in, you will be treated like a princess or a prince at Mercedes-Benz of Fort Pierce.
We got 5 minutes now, right?
Yeah.
You know one thing you could do, right, which would help I think your audience and your sponsors,
Yeah.
is why don't you have your sponsors come in, okay, half an hour we're going to do, hey, you have plumbing questions, blah, blah, blah. People will call in, ask a plumbing question, your plumber can answer questions. Yeah, I don't know all your advertisers, but you went on for, about 20 of them. So have a restaurant person have questions about food, stuff like that. I would think that would be interesting. I know if you did
I'll have to ask him about that.
if you did a food one, I would call in because I'm on the paleo diet.
Well, you are.
Yeah, and so I would.
Were you ever fat?
No, it has to do with my migraine
I mean,
headache.
they're
And my wife has stomach.
Maybe you can help my friend who has migraine headache.
Well, I've had them for quite some time.
He's had them since he was a little kid.
I've had them since I graduated college. So
He had him so bad that he thought about committing
oh, yeah,
suicide.
I do
It
that all
doesn't
the
have
time.
anything to do with the intrinsic value.
I have it real bad. I've actually looked at other therapies that are. I've often
they're
thought
doing
about
all
I
of
may
them are
be
doing well.
buying a
And they all learned it
barometric.
from
Hey.
Fox.
Siri.
Yeah,
Siri. Hey, Siri.
O'Reilly taught them.
but I think that's something we're.
Hey, Siri.
Yeah, I
It's
agree.
not going to go away.
It's a media-driven.
Call
media
Pastor
driven.
Richard Demsick.
People are getting tired of it.
Yeah, I agree.
But not that tired.
Not that tired.
Now, what's your name again?
Keith Howard.
Keith Howard. Okay. Once you guys get together, you can have some MSG together.
Well, I get 18 to 22
Hey,
a month.
how you doing, Richard?
I'm doing pretty good. How you doing?
I'm in the studio today with a fella named
Keith Howard.
Keith Howard, and he has suffered from migraines most of his life. And I wanted to put him on the phone with you. I think you two should get together and go out and have some Chinese food, some MSG together. And no, but seriously, I'm going to put him on the phone though. Here he is. Okay.
Hey, we were just talking, and I told him I have
Richard.
extreme migraines. I get like 18 to 22 a month, and so but over the years I've been able to live through most of them. But I know a lot of different therapies and stuff that have helped because migraine sufferers. If you've had them a long time, I'm sure you've become almost like you become bonded with other migraine sufferers.
Going into the CL.
And there's different things that and new things that are coming about. I actually thought about buying a hyperbaric chamber. I may even do that, but I have to make sure that I have the right type of headaches to do that.
Won't give him a thrill.
How long have you had yours?
You asked which is the wrong thing.
My father has
You might have to keep.
his mom has it, so we're carrying on the generation
That's good.
tradition of having migraines.
That's the same in my family.
think
Now,
I can go national if I
did your
don't sing
mother
songs.
did your mother
I
get
don't know. No,
over
I
her
think that
migraines
brings-
after she went through menopause?
I like that.
I do.
I do.
So that's a good question, and I knew the answer, and I don't remember at this point.
Because
I know a lot of women that have.
right, because all my brothers and sisters, I have 8 brothers and sisters. All of the girls have their migraines went away right after they went through menopause. All the boys have actually it's tapered off. I'm the worst of the group, but as people get older. And you go through the change. I keep telling people I guess I haven't gone through the change yet. But supposedly your hormonal things change too. So, but how old are you?
I'm 31, and my dad is in his 60s, and he still has them pretty much as he ever did. And, of course, we both learned tricks to help.
Right.
Mostly nutrition based.
Right. I'm on the paleo diet right now.
That's really good.
Which it's not as hard as you think, and that I think
Casey,
is helping a
My
great
neighbor doing
deal.
very well.
But the other thing that I did is there's a
neighbor
DNA
was
testing called
You live in
23andMe.
New York?
He lived in New York. Neighbors.
And so
I was a neighbor.
I did that, and I've done that,
Long
and I've
Island.
paid for it for a bunch of my brothers
I
and
won't say
sisters
this
and
in
everything
here.
like this.
Well, maybe I should say
And
it.
so it kind of shows, what what you're susceptible to, and everything like this. But there's so many different types of migraines. That's one of the problems. One of the guys who this is going to open up in Brevard County because I work with autistic children. And they found that putting kids in hyperbaric chambers, autistic children in hyperbaric chambers, lessens
I
their
knew him
autism.
pretty
And
well.
when he opens his
And his
place
wife very well, and
up
actually his
here, I
daughter.
am actually going to
That
see
was
if I
the
can go
doctor.
into
And
his
his son
hyperbaric
knew
chamber
very
because
well. Yeah.
there's talk that if you can
He would,
increase the
the most interesting
oxidation
thing
in
I've,
your
one of the
blood,
most interesting I've ever
that it will
been
reduce
is
the
to
amount
Bill
of-
Casey's funeral.
of headaches you get. The other thing, there's another thing,
His funeral
and
was the
that's
most unique
called
funeral I've
Cephali,
ever-
which is like a thing that you
Why
can.
would-
It
Well,
looks like a
it was a
headband
huge
that you
political
wear, and
argument
it
in the
does
center
ultrasound
of the
on
funeral
your head,
between
and
the
it
priest
increases the
and
endorphins
Patrick,
in your
former UN
in your
ambassador.
brain, so
Gene
that way
Patrick.
you still
Yes.
get you
A
still
big
have the
argument
same
right in the center
pain,
of the-
but your
They
threshold
got
for
into an
pain
argument
moves
during the
up,
funeral,
and you
the
don't
memorial
get that.
service.
But if
And it was wonderful.
I'll tell Rhett
Casey was-
what the stuff
Yeah,
is,
Saul-
and maybe you
Saul
can,
was there,
or
so.
or if you wanted to get together sometime after,
Casey
if I come
got
down here to do one of these, I'll be
the,
glad to
Cardinal was
bring some
a,
information and show
yeah,
you what I've done.
almost
I'm doing
Cardinal
Botox now. I don't know if
And he was
you've
getting
ever
bad
done that.
publicity, So Casey got
My dad
Saul
had
to do the
Botox.
PR for Cardinal
Fortunately, it
Cook.
didn't really help
Yeah.
him very much. So what
But
we've
we
kinda
had
done,
3,
over the
maybe
years
4 presidents there too.
We both often tried different things to see, which
we had
one
vice presidents
helps
and-
the other.
Right.
We're like, okay, I'll do that too.
Nixon.
You
Right.
know?
Right, and you're right, because I can't eat a lot of sugary products. Sugar bothers me a lot. I'm assuming it bothers you.
Maybe Cardinal.
Fatty foods can get you
One of the
stuff like that. That's the reason why I tried the
Of course, there was
paleo
nothing
diet,
other
because get rid of all these artificial crap that's in food and stuff like that.
He was.
So,
That's
but yeah, if you ever want to come down after the show, I'll be glad to talk to you more on it.
Well,
And I'll
he-
guarantee you, Rhett should probably do a show on it,
Head of the
because there are so
SEC.
many migraine
Yes.
sufferers. They could
Yes.
call in and ask.
I think you need to
questions.
start a group.
Yeah, well,
What do you call those
trust me,
groups?
trust me, migraine sufferers
He's a
flock
smart old
together.
guy.
The
wasn't very
pharmacist
good
at the Sam's.
No, I used to get them years ago,
He had
and I don't know
we had
what
some
caused
great
them to
stories
end.
about it.
Well, you give them, I hear. Okay. No.
It wasn't. He mumbled.
So, but no, I was telling your friend that as people get older, the hormones
When he
change in their
testified,
bodies. And
he hated punk.
like my sisters,
He
theirs all went away after they went through the change.
Pardon me?
All my sisters,
He would
their
mumble and
migraines
mumble,
went away
and
once
they
they
got
went through the
really-
change.
Didn't understand.
So as you get older, your
It's all
body keeps
chemical.
changing.
So they
That's the
got
reason
a-
why
Someday they'll all be able to
microphone,
take a pill and be
bigger
thin.
microphone and
Yeah,
put it
well,
right in his
yeah,
face.
that's a long
And of
way
course,
off.
that just made the
But
numbers
the other
That
thing is that
no.
if you ever talk to anybody who has allergies, allergies actually change throughout your lifetime. What you're allergic to now will be different later on,
I knew him before
and
he
so on
was-
and so forth. So.
I knew him in
But
New
yeah,
York
if you ever
when
want
he
to come
was
down to the
giving us
studio
advice on
afterwards,
business.
and we can
And
maybe
you
talk
could
to Rhett
totally
about doing
understand what he's saying.
a show on that.
You couldn't understand what you said.
Well, I think I'm boring, Rhett.
Because I
yawning
remember I
already.
was at a testimony with him.
I'll
one
give you
time,
back to him.
One of the bag carriers.
All right, Richard. I'll talk to you soon. All right.
And
All right, talk to you later.
Who loves you, baby?
I understand what he's gone through.
Who's looking out for
The
you,
na-
baby?
He said the nation is in danger.
But
All right.
In
you
response
asked me
to
if
that
I have
comment.
children, and that's
it
the
was
reason why I
loud
don't
and
have
clear.
children.
So when he wanted to be heard, he could be heard. He was something else.
I like it. They are.
Good morning.
Hey, are you listening to us?
I've been listening to you guys. It's a new gentleman. He's very interesting.
Oh yeah, which fella?
Yeah.
Keith-
I'm not
Keith-
on air, am I?
No, you're not on the air. No. How you doing?
So Stanford, I want to. So my analogy that I gave to people with the San Francisco thing,
Yes.
is I said, for my whole life, there's been.
It's Rose's birthday?
I've been in the middle, but now.
Oh my word! Well, you know we leave
Three
today.
lanes of the highway have been added on to the left. And
Yeah,
now
tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow.
From being in the middle.
God
to
willing.
now people think
We're supposed to fly into. We leave at 7 p.m. We get into Burlington at 12:30 a.m. We'll spend the night there. Get our rent-a-car in the morning, and you'll see us around noon. So plan. Don't have lunch till we get there. We'll all have lunch together or something. All right? Do you miss me yet? Okay. Bye-bye.
So I'm very interesting. I don't know what that means.